It means high-spined lizard. Acrocanthosaurus, a monster from hell that R.T. Bird came to believe made the predator tracks at Glen Rose. The discovery of Acrocanthosaurus bone fragments near the track site, itself an unusual find, convinced Bird that this was the perpetrator of the attack. Acrocanthosaurus is so rare that only one skeleton exists in the whole world.
Acrocanthosaurus was aptly called the terror of the South. Here we see it, the whole skeleton put together again, and have an image of the dinosaur as a whole organism. This was a serious carnivorous dinosaur, and it was not small. The animal was on the order of 38 feet long, 11.5 feet high, the head was 4.5 feet long, and it was at least the second largest meat-eating dinosaur that we know of that inhabited North America. The main offensive weapon of the Acrocanthosaurus was, of course, its skull. But however, it used its body and its limbs to support the skull in an attack situation, so that the animal was holding on to its victim with its claws, which were very articulate and very large. This animal was a bulldog. It cut and sliced and ripped flesh away from the animal it was attacking.
But even the mighty Acrocanthosaurus was not without its shortcomings.
When you look at the size of its chest, you see the chest is narrow, and this suggests that the animal was attacking without breathing, that it was working on the chemical energy stored within its muscles rather than its breathing. So it was running on an anaerobic rather than an aerobic metabolism.
Back in the graphics lab, the animators fed all these parameters into the computer. And this is what they came up with: a vicious carnivore with strong arms, jaws, and teeth. But it can't run and breathe at the same time. It's built for enormous energy expenditure in short bursts. And that means no long battles, but closing slowly on its prey and then savagely striking. Marathon battles are out. Now, Farlow and Thomas must determine the identity of the victim. The answer lies all around in the large potholes which dot the bed of the Paluxy River. The dinosaur detectives plunge back into the investigation. The potholes are fossilized footprints made by something very, very large. These are the fossilized footprints of a walking meal in Cretaceous times. They were made by giant four-footed dinosaurs known as sauropods.
The term sauropod is used to describe the big, long-necked, relatively small-headed, quadrupedal, plant-eating dinosaurs. The sauropod footprints, when they're very well preserved, you're going to get a kind of U-shaped or horseshoe-shaped impression from the front foot, and then immediately behind it there will be a fairly long and broad, kind of oval-shaped hindfoot impression with claw marks that are directed out to the side. Unfortunately, most of the time you see them here in the river. They're just great big oblong depressions, and if you see an impression of the front foot, it's this little squashed little crescent thing at the front end.
This is the classic image of the sauropod. 4 heavy legs, a long neck with small head, and a long tail. Its name, Apatosaurus. But the tracks Bird found did not match the feet of this massive creature. They belonged instead to a much rarer beast, a sauropod so rare that only fragments of its skeleton have ever been found. Here, at the Texas Memorial Museum in Austin, is the largest of those fragments, a right rear foot, almost complete. The name of the rare specimen this foot belongs to? Pleurocoelus.
Assuming that the prints here in the river were made by Pleurocoelus, and that is an assumption. We don't know that for a fact. It's simply that Pleurocoelus has been found in rocks comparable in these to age in the same geographic region, so it's a nice bet. The footprints of the front foot don't have any trace of a claw mark, and that's unlike some sauropod prints that have been found elsewhere. And the other characteristic thing about these prints is they have a very wide gauge, if you will. The footprints of the left side are well apart from footprints of the right side. And it's been presumed that this might be a feature of titanosaurid sauropods like Pleurocoelus, because you can see in the shape of the thigh bone, there's a kind of a kink at the upper end that would put the hind foot some distance away from the midline that way. I think this is the main track layer, Dave. Watch yourself.
Right.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, there you go. There's one of them. There's a sauropod track there, I think.
Yeah.
But I think
The creatures that made these footprints defied nature.
Yeah, let's get out to the side.
The tracks describe their dimensions, 50 to 60 feet long, each foot making a print the size of a bathtub.
you notice how wide they are, the wide distance.
The depth of the prints in the stone reveals a massive weight, perhaps as much as 29 tons, almost 70,000 pounds.
Made by a titanosaurid like Pleurocoelus.
Yet Pleurocoelus didn't use water to support that weight. It lived in the shallows and on dry land.
Cleaned it already.
And crucially for birds' attack scenario, sauropods like Pleurocoelus walked not like lizards, but like mammals.
I think he's going this way.
Yeah.
The trackway at Glen Rose established that sauropods walked like elephants, with their feet planted directly beneath the body, supporting their weight. But look at the stiff-legged gait that results. Other modern quadrupeds bend their spines as they run. The flexibility generates speed. Elephants can't do this. Nor could Pleurocoelus. Its way of walking meant a top speed of just 4 miles per hour. If Pleurocoelus could have moved faster, it might have got away. So what was it that brought Pleurocoelus and Acrocanthosaurus to their fateful encounter at Glen Rose? And how did their footprints come to survive intact for over 100 million years? To find out, we must leave Farlow and Thomas in Glen Rose and go on a trip back through time.